So
There you go.
when
Technical difficulties.
I feel like what's it called? Um, dang, what was you talking about?
Oh, just how they all scored. There were six people with double
Oh
digits
no, I was
there.
talking about the finals. The
Oh
finals
yeah,
MVP. I feel
yeah,
like
yeah,
the
yeah.
finals MVP should be for the MVP for the whole playoffs, not just for the finals. Whoever wins. Like the one year
Mm.
LeBron even should have won the finals MVP, even though they lost. He was the best player throughout the whole playoffs on either side of the
Mm.
team. So I feel like you know, I don't know. I don't like the I don't like the Larry Bird and the Magic Johnson conference finals MVPs. I feel like that's just too much, and I feel like they're becoming
What do you
soft and
mean by that?
trying to give like trophies out.
The Larry Bird, and Michael Johnson, Michael Jordan. Sorry, Magic Johnson.
Magic, yeah.
Yeah. What do you mean by that?
Okay, so the winners of the Western and Eastern Conference Finals, there's now you get the Western Conference Finals trophy, and now there's an MVP trophy. Like you know how the Finals MVP, when the whoever wins the finals, they get the trophy, and then they say the MVP of the finals is whoever.
Yes.
They got
So
they got
conference now too.
yeah, they got that for conference finals now. So what are you gonna do when the finals? Give another MVP out? So we're about to have three MVPs in one year. It should just be a
Four, including the
regular
regular
season.
season.
Well, you only count one because they're both not getting it. It's only one winner. So only one
Right.
per oh no. Well, East and West. Oh no, you're right. Four. You're right. Four. Two and then two in the regular season and one in the finals. Right. Well, one in the
Oh,
regular
they do give
season.
an Eastern Conference and a Western Conference MVP.
No. So the regular season is for
Right.
the MVP of the league. That's one
Yep.
MVP. Then you got the Western Conference, and then you got the Eastern Conference MVPs for the finals, or for the Eastern Conference finals, and the
I
Western
see what you're
Conference
saying.
finals. Then you got the finals MVP. That's four. You're correct. So you got four MVPs in one year. I think that's just doing too much. I just think they should just leave it alone, and they shouldn't mess with the tradition. When I feel like something, it's like a not a dynasty, but when you have something going on for so long in the same way, I feel like you want to change it up and like get new ideas. But I feel like you can do that with the game. You don't do that with like awards. I mean, like, I don't know. I just feel like it's doing too much. I feel like the only MVP should be the MVP if they get to the finals and they win the finals, then you give that player whoever deserves the MVP. You know,
So you think it should be
no,
just MVP and like regular season MVP and finals MVP?
yeah, most definitely, most definitely. But yeah,
Otherwise, it feels kind of like a participation trophy.
right, right. Like I would feel like, oh, what's this? The MVP trophy, like of the conference finals. Like, oh wow, like There's no weight to it. There's no, it doesn't really mean much.
Yeah.
Like to me, it doesn't. Uh, but the Warriors. Let's talk about the game last night. They only, you know, Dallas was in the game. They cut the game down to nine. I just, Luca just wasn't. He just wasn't playing. He didn't look like he was into the game even at all. Like, he didn't show up, even though he had 15 in the third quarter. Uh, it was they lost the game in the first half, basically. Uh, but the Warriors look great. A big player for the Warriors was Kevin Looney. He had like 18 rebounds or something like that. Something crazy. But he's been I'm not gonna lie, he's been doing pretty good. I thought he was gonna win the MVP, really. Because he's just been balling unexpectedly. We can go to his numbers.
Who was that?
Uh, Kevin Looney,
Who?
I think his name is for the Warriors.
Kevin Mooney. He's Looney.
Looney.
Yeah, he's right.
Yeah,
He's right here.
I'm about to look. Wait,
Went 5 of 8 from the floor. 31 minutes played. 18 rebounds. Dang.
yeah, double double, I
Four
think he had, right?
assists. 4 assists. No turnovers. That's huge.
plus and minus was through the roof,
Yeah.
and it's been like that for ever since like game. I want to say game three of last series. He had like 20 rebounds, 11 offensive. Like he's been he stepped up and he stepped up for them for sure and been a key part of their success. Uh, Clay had a big night.
They just play really good team ball.
Yeah, that's the Warriors though. They don't just give the ball to Curry and Clay. They really feed the team. It's really a team gig out there. You like
They
Luca.
also went 16 to 16 from the free throw line. It's pretty impressive.
Oh yeah, but I mean, you got the three best free throw shooters in the game right now. You got Curry, who shoots 90%. You got Jordan Poole, who shoots 90%. Then you got Clay Thompson, who shoots 90%. So when you got three out of
Mm.
five shooting 90%, I mean, Wiggins can shoot too, so he's probably good at least 80, maybe a low 80, high 80s, but he's all right. You know what I'm saying? The only fall off you have is with Draymond, but if
Hmm.
you have four out of the five, then they
And
could
even
put y'all
Draymond went
one up.
6 to 7
You
from
know?
the floor.
Oh yeah, he only missed one shot last night. He was balling last night. He had a great night last night. He showed that he doesn't even
6
floor
rebounds,
general.
and only 3 turnovers.
Yeah, he played. He's their floor general. He's their quarterback of their team.
Which
With
is crazy because
he's the
he's
one who
technically
gets the
listed as a
floater
power
going.
forward.
Yep. And you would think your point guard would do that, but nah, he's what I feel like I call him a point forward, where he can push the ball and he can play the four. So, or he can play
Hmm.
the forward, yeah, the four position. He can't really play the three because he can't shoot with a lick, but I mean, when he's wide open for a couple seconds, he can shoot. But sheesh. Uh, let's go on. Let's go on to the Celtics and them. What's going on with them?
Sure. Hold on a second. You want to see the box score we were just looking at? The other one?
Oh, you know what? I can pull it up real quick.
This is the one we were looking at just a little bit earlier.
Oh yeah, I just wanted to see something. Box score.
Celtics.
Yeah. Let me see what Robert Williams had the other day.
Right here.
Um,
6 points, 10 boards, 2 for 2 from the floor.
yeah, but I don't know why this thing does this. But anyway, the Heat only scored 16 points in the third quarter.
Mm.
I wanted to point that out. They only scored 16 points, which is
To the Celtics 32.
wow. Right. That means the Celtics just came in out of halftime and just literally just put their put their foot right up the rooter. 'Cause that's just crazy. I don't think I've ever heard of someone or a team scoring 16 points in a quarter. Like that got to be like a low. Like that's just amazing. That's great defense. Um, but whatever. Let's move on to baseball. Um, the Guardians, they they're doing better than I
They're
thought they
doing
were
pretty.
gonna do.
They're doing bad.
They were doing better. They're doing better than well, I thought they would be doing even worse. So the fact that they beat Houston the other night, as long as they beat them, they got one game. They didn't get swept. Uh, I don't think we beat Houston in a while. Um, but what's his name? Fenrir Ramirez just got put on the 10-day DL. Uh, so
Oh,
that's
he's on a DL.
yeah, he's on the DL. Um,
You
I
got the
forget
American
what
League
his
standings here.
uh, what's the record?
Where are we at? 18 and 23. 3 and 7 in the last 10.
Yeah. So
We
you know
got
we're
we got
we're not
one from we got one from the Astros.
right. But now we're playing not Detroit, the White Sox, right? Or something like that.
No, we got
Who we playing
Detroit.
now?
We got Detroit
Oh yeah,
this weekend.
Detroit. Yeah, Detroit.
Yeah.
And we just took them to 9. But Miggy hit a walk-off single to get to win last night, I seen. But like I said, Fran Ramirez, their defense, I mean their offensive bat is, I mean, they're
Yeah, their offense has been pretty bad. I'd actually be interested to look at that. Pull up like their splits and see how they're doing in the past like X amount of days.
yeah, I mean they're third in the
Let me pull that
conference.
up.
They're 2 games. There are a couple games. They're 4 games. Well, 3.5 games ahead of the fourth place. So we're still in
Yeah, it would be the Tigers.
yeah, and I don't really. It's really our our central division is really the Twins, White Sox, and us, the Guardians. Um,
Last 30 days as a
that's the
team.
3 competitive teams.
Here's the stats for the last 30 days as a team. So remember the Guardians started off top of the league with so this is categorized by OPS, which you can see
Right.
it's on base percentage plus slugging. So how well are they getting on base? How well are they hitting the ball? Um, and the last 30 days, Guardians are down to 20. At the start of the season, I don't know if you remember, we were like number 5 or 6.
Right.
So let's see. Let's even
Yeah,
go the
they've
last
been.
15 days.
I don't know. They've been. They
Last
fell off.
15 days, 28. Oh, it's bad. Tied for last with Baltimore, or tied for second to last with Baltimore. Oh, it's terrible. Detroit's down there too, though.
Yeah, but I
Some of
mean,
our uh, some of our listeners are Blue Jays fans, so they're just as bad almost.
oh, you know what? That's crazy because what's his name started out so well last in the beginning of the year. Vlad Guerrero Jr.
Yeah,
He started out hot. I'm talking about hot, and I
look at
just don't know
that.
what happened.
Pittsburgh Pirates, the Cleveland Guardians, and the Toronto Blue Jays all bottom of the league in their total hits in the last 15 days. Let's see
Oh
if we can go
my.
to average. Let's go to. Let's see who's been stealing bags. Chicago Cubs and the Dodgers are running. Let's see who's
Is
hitting all the yackers.
what's
What do you want to
crazy
see,
is
Buck?
hold on. The Red Sox been balling.
They have been
The Mets
balling.
the Mets been balling. I feel like
The
they. I
Mets have
don't
been
know. They.
balling.
Uh, you know what's crazy? You see the Arizona Diamondbacks in second place. Wow, I
And
haven't
home
seen
runs
that.
hit, yeah.
Oh, that's home run hit. Okay. Like
Yeah, that
wow.
went back to OPS. The Red Sox are 920 OPS. That's wild.
Yeah, they've been hot and they've continued to
Yeah,
be hot. But it's
they've
the
been
Red
balling
Sox,
for sure.
who else you got here? The Giants, Cardinals. That's a surprise about the Cardinals, but they do got good pitching. Um, the Twins, Astros, see the Diamondbacks is 9 though. They're not.
Yeah, yeah. They've been
They're
hitting the ball.
they just and they got great pitching. I heard. I think I heard they got like the best pitching in the league, something like that. You said?
Well, let's take. I did say that last week because their pitching had been top notch throughout the year so far. Um, but I think they've kind of
Oh,
fallen
you know
off
what's?
the past couple weeks.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, they're
their
22.
ERA dropped down. Their
You
walks and
know
hits per innings pitched to drop down.
who's been real surprising? Go back to that OBS or the winning, the rankings, not the
The OPS rankings,
uh
the team OPS
about
rankings.
yeah. What's really surprising to me is The Miami Marlins. I don't even know one player on the Marlins, but they're ranked 10th.
They got some boys. They got some guys that can hit. Um,
Yeah, I don't.
let's see.
They
Leading
they
off, they
must
got a
not get
guy.
much coverage.
Here, let's do this. You can take a look at him. Why not? Surprise team. Honestly, I would say they're one of the bigger surprises. They're one of the bigger surprises in the league. Their pitching has been pretty solid. Let's see.
Right.
Team leaders in OPS. Jazz Chisholm's going to be at the top.
I think that Aguilar. I think I heard of him. Jesus Aguilar.
Jesus Aguilar.
Yeah, I think I heard of him.
So
I think I heard.
let's see. It's only going to show a handful of guys based on the
Right.
to qualify, a player must have 3.1 plate appearances per team game played. So you got top 6 guys here. Jazz Chisholm,
Shit.
like clear cut top. He's one of the top guys in the NL East right now. And he's doing it all. He's doing it all. 341 on base. How many home runs has he got? He's got 7 home runs and 6 stolen bases. Guy's just he's like 24 years old. He's a
Mhm.
baller. He's a baller.
Okay.
Jesus Aguilar
Yeah.
had close to 100 RBIs last year. I think he had 100 RBIs last year. So he just got off to a slow start. Jorge
Right.
Soler also had like 80 RBIs last year, I think.
I think didn't he play for the Twins or something like last year? I want to
The
say.
Royals. He got traded from the Royals
Royals.
last year.
Oh, okay. I
Yep.
knew it was
Jesus
some.
Sanchez is another one. And Avi
Yeah, I've never heard
Garcia.
of him. Never heard of that.
Jesus Sanchez. He had, I don't know how many RBIs he had, but he's got a big bat. And then Avisel Garcia's got a decent bat as well. But these guys haven't really been doing much.
Right.
See who else has been hitting. Miggy Rowe. I think he was injured. So
Ooh.
no, 35 games. Miguel Rojas. No, he wasn't injured. There's a different Rojas that's been injured. He played for the Diamondbacks.
Okay.
Williams Astudillo. He's only gotten 1 game.
Hey,
This guy.
you know what's crazy?
Go ahead.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you
What's
off.
up? You good? You good?
I'm just looking at the standings right now, and you know how I said the Red Sox have been balling?
Yeah.
They are ranked 4th in their division and are 10.5 games back of first place.
Well, here's the thing: the Red
They're
Sox,
21. They're 21 and 23.
right? But they started really bad. They started
Right.
really bad. So if
They got
we
the
go, let's check the season total. Let's go year to date.
who's
Year to
really been
date
balling.
OPS.
Yankees. The Yankees been
Yeah, they're
crushing.
going to be at the top of the list. Yankees and Mets. Oh, Dodgers, Giants, Angels, Yankees, Mets. Yeah, those are your top OPS teams right there. But let's look at Red Sox. I mean, Red Sox, when it comes to OPS throughout the course of the year, where they at? Did I miss them? Oh, they're number 9.
Yep.
So not
They're
bad.
9.
I bet you it's the last like 15 days have really saved them though, because um Trevor Story's hit like 8 home runs in like 2 weeks. The guy's
He's
just
on the
been
Red
on
Sox.
fire.
I thought he's on the
Yeah,
Rock. I thought he's on the Rockies.
he just got traded over the offseason. The Rockies either traded him or he signed. No, he signed with Boston, and they signed Chris
Oh.
Bryant to try and
Oh.
like
Okay.
replace him.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
You know what's
but
crazy? Didn't they get rid of? Oh, the Rockies got rid of Nolan Arenado or something like that too, right?
yeah, Arenado went to the Cardinals. Speaking of which, Cardinals, that's another team to talk about.
Yeah,
They've been
Cardinals been
pretty on
balling.
fire.
They
They
got
have. They
their
got
first baseman. Their first baseman, man.
Paul
He's been
Goldschmidt.
yeah,
Goldschmidt. I wonder how many home runs he's probably got 5 or
he's
6
been
home runs in
killing
the
it.
past 15
He's
days as
been batting
well.
like he's been batting like 422,
There he is,
5 home
Goldie.
runs. Yeah,
He's
he's
got in the
been
last
balling.
15 days, he hit 8 home runs. Oh my God. Oh, wait, no. This is year to date. I was gonna say because Aaron Judge had 17. I'm like, no way in the last 15 days he's 17 home runs.
Oh, that's crazy.
6 home runs in the last 15 days out of Goldschmidt. Your boy
Yeah.
JD
What else?
Martinez has 2. Mookie Betts has 7 home runs in the past 15 days. Yeah,
Well, look
he's
what
been
he's
popping
batting,
off
bro.
too.
He's batting 471, bro.
In
You
last
know,
15 days. Last 15 days.
that's
But
I don't care if it's the last 10 days.
still. 24 hits
Right.
out of 51 at bats. That's great.
Yeah. I mean, come
20
on now.
RBIs. That's
He's
nuts.
he's being efficient. That's real efficient. 11 runs, 24. Right.
let me show you some. There's another site that we've been using called Baseball Savant. I want to show you like some rankings
Mhm.
real quick. Have you
JD
heard of Baseball
Martinez is
Savant?
ranked third. No, I have not. I've never heard of that.
It's like the Statcast metrics. Oh, actually,
Uh,
you're gonna like to see this. So they post articles too. You see this trending
no,
article? JD Martinez actually
okay.
just got the highlight. JD Martinez is a Goldilocks zone of hitting, scoring up the ball just right. Rafi Devers, Trevor Story, and the rest of the offense firing around in Boston has been hitting the best hitting team in baseball in May. Martinez is hitting like vintage, whatever.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So
So to all the
let's see
listeners out
JD.
there, if you're in this fantasy league, don't be sending me no trade offers for no bums for JD Martinez. All right. All right.
You almost accepted one.
I almost did.
You got saved. So this is
Yes,
JD
I did.
Martinez. If a number is red, that means that he's in the top portion of the league, top 3% of the league, top 2% of the league, top
So
10.
that
So
bottom one.
2000, so 2022, he's in this is expected batting average based on his exit velocity and launch angle. This is what his expected batting average should be. So it's not his actual batting average, but it's expected. I think there might be another metric in there, but
What's it say?
I think I'm
Three
pretty
thirty.
sure
What?
it's
5 or 6? Is it three? Say
336
336.
is what,
Okay.
yeah, expected slugging 611. That's pretty good. I think league average is at like just over 450. See, oh, this is the thing, the percentile ranking. So these likewise show you where they
Oh, they
rank
break it
in the
down really,
league.
huh? Right.
What's that?
They break it down really.
Oh yeah, they break it down. So again, it's all a lot of it's just expected, like
Mhm.
what the projections show that they should be, where they should
Right.
be versus like actual
Mhm.
batting average. So like I showed down here, his batting average is 380. His expected batting average is 336. So really what that indicates is that he's been getting kind of lucky because he's batting better
Right.
than what he's expected to have been batting. But still, 336 is an expected average. Is pretty freaking good.
Right.
So yeah, so you see JD's basically he sits top percentile in a lot of these categories or close to the top in
Yeah,
a lot of these
that's
categories.
why I was like 97, 98, 96, 93.
This is
Yeah, he's
expected weighted on base average. Um, so it's just
what's
his
that mean?
expected on base. It's same thing as on base percentage, but just put it in an expected form. So his expected
Oh,
ability to
okay.
be on base.
Right.
I guess that probably factors in balls and strikes too. 93% of the time he barrels the ball. All right, you ready to get blown away? I'm going to show you someone who just completely takes this and goes, I'm one of the best expected players in the league. Ready?
Yeah, who was that? Aaron Judge.
Yep.
Yeah, he's having an MVP candidate type season this year. Not gonna lie.
Just watch this.
But you know what's
When it
crazy?
comes
I
up.
thought he was. I didn't think he was a scrub because he's been balling like he's doing
Look
great
at this.
numbers, but
100
that's crazy.
percentile on average exit velo, max exit velo. He's up there. Hard hit percentage 100%, slugging 100%, expected batting average 96, OBA 100. Walk rate's pretty
Yeah, he's
good.
going.
Chase rate's pretty good. Meaning like he doesn't. This means he's a top fifth of the league in chasing pitch. In like he doesn't go after pitches that are outside of the zone. Basically, is what this said.
Oh, okay. And then they
Yeah.
got whiffs too, right? They got whiffs too, right?
Yeah. So this
Says
is
whiff.
like swing. Yeah,
He
swing
whiffs
and
on
miss
fifty one
percentage.
percent, huh?
Well,
Yeah,
again, this is
that's what I thought that's what he was. He's either a home run or a strikeout. You know,
right.
he's not
Yeah,
he's not
because you
he's
look
not
at
hitting
this,
singles. He's not
his
hitting
K
doubles.
percentage. Again, these are percentiles, so his K percentage. That means that he's striking out. So he's in the bottom 1/3 of the league when it comes to striking out.
That's that's decent for a home run hitter, for a power hitter. That's decent.
No, it's
That's,
bad. This is bad.
oh,
If he
really?
was good, it would be red. If it was good, it would be red.
Oh,
So he's
but
bad.
I thought you said the low. He's in the lower. Oh, okay. I don't understand. But
Sorry. So some of these are a little backwards. Like expected batting average, he's in the 96 percentile. It means he himself is a top 4% in expected batting average. So he's got a really good batting average. The bottom percent, because this is percentile, right? So like percentile means they take they're taking the whole player field, like everyone in the MLB. If there's 100 players, that means there's
Right.
71 players that are better than Aaron Judge when it comes to striking out. So like they're better. They don't strike out. So 71 players are going to strike out more than Aaron, are going to strike out less than Aaron Judge does.
Oh, okay. I was thinking
You see what I'm saying?
they were going to
Yeah,
strike
yeah.
out more.
It is kind of
Oh,
confusing. It is kind of
okay. Yeah,
confusing for that.
I
Yeah.
got you now.
So
Got you now.
71 players. So Aaron Judge is going to strike out before 71 of the other players in the league, basically, if it
Okay.
was out of 100
Yeah,
people.
well, that makes sense. He's
So yeah,
either a home run or strikeout.
correct. Let me see. Oh, you want to see? He's been so
You
bad
know who's
this
been
year.
balling too? Who?
Who's that? I was just going to show
Uh,
you one guy. He's probably got the worst strikeout rate, whiff rate, everything in the MLB right now. He's got to. His average is so bad right now. Javier Baez is just known for striking out and whiffing.
oh no.
Look how bad. He doesn't walk. He does. He never walks. Never gets on base. He always chases. He always misses, and he usually strikes out.
Wow, that's terrible.
He's so bad this year.
Wasn't he an all-star? He's on Detroit this year, isn't he?
He's I don't know. He's such a streaky player. The thing is, when he'll catch heat, like he will like fire.
Right. He was an all-star 2 years ago. I forget what team he was on.
Yeah,
He wasn't
yeah.
on Detroit.
He was part of the 2016 championship
The
Cubs.
Mets. Oh, the Cubs.
He
That's what
played.
it was.
He played for
Right,
the Cubs.
right.
He played for the Mets last year too. Played for the Mets last year.
Right. But the Cubs, I'm saying, like, they won the championship with him, you know? Him,
Yep.
Chris Bryant, Anthony Rizzo. You know who's been, that's what I was going to say, has been balling this year is Anthony Rizzo for the Yankees. You know, he's been balling too. As well as Frankie Lindor.
Lindor's been doing pretty good. Don't you got both these guys on your team?
Yeah, I do actually.
Rizzo's been playing pretty good. Let's see how is it.
Yeah, he's been doing better than I expected. Um, I mean, I picked him up off the free agent wire, not really expecting him to do too much, but he's been doing all right. I'm not
He's
gonna lie.
been barreling the ball pretty good. He doesn't swing and miss as much as what this is showing. He walks. He's got a really good eye for the zone. He's always had that. Let's see what his actual numbers are. He's batting 226, which isn't great, but then 344 on base. That's pretty not bad. Slugging 500, not bad.
11 homers though. 11 homers, 27 ribbies
Yeah,
already.
he's cooled down though. He's cooled down. If we were to find Rizzo,
Can you go like the last 5 games? Okay, yeah,
I'll go
15 days.
I'll go year to date, and then you can find Rizzo with the home runs. There he is. Let's check him out.
He's 7. That's not, you know.
Let's see his last 7 games. Yeah, last 7 games ain't doing too hot. 182, slugging 400. Nothing special there. So his OPS still is 780 almost 776. So
Right.
it's just OPS is just the on base plus slugging. So quick math, 776 is his on base plus slugging right now in the past 7 days. But unfortunately, like 422 is not great, but he has walked 7 times, so that really helps with his on base percentage. Like if you can't hit the ball, at least get on base. Find a way to help your team. So last 15 games, again, he's just been like his average hasn't been great, but he's been getting on base. You know, so it's like this is one thing I look at when I'm trying to decide if I want to pick someone up or not. Like in fantasy, strikeout walk ratio is huge. So if you're walking just as much as you're striking out, then that's great. But like, so let me show you one. I'll show you one that you were excited about, but I actually dropped him off of my team. Was Seiya Suzuki.
The outfielder from the Cubs.
Yeah. Let me show you something.
Rookie. You know he's in contention to be Rookie of the Year. I hope you know that.
No, he not the way he's been playing this month. He's been pretty really since the last week of April. He's been pretty terrible.
I just seen just the other day that he's like ranked 3rd in Rookie of the Year votings right now in the
So
I think it's AL or NL, whatever the Cubs are in. The
NL,
AL,
they're in the
NL. Yeah,
NL
right.
Central. Yeah. But
Right.
like for example, say a Suzuki in the past 30 days, look at his strikeouts. He's got 40 strikeouts, 9 walks.
Oh,
So
oh.
his on base is going to struggle versus
Right,
Rizzo. We were looking at is pretty equal, and that's why he's
right.
impacting his team. Last 30 days, 15 walks to 21 strikeouts. While say Suzuki's out here just getting K'd.
Yeah, he's it's been pretty bad.
Let's see his
Uh,
split, his splits. You can also see by month like how they played. So say at Suzuki,
right.
his OPS was at 900.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, 900 in April, May 600. Yeah,
Wow,
he's definitely taking
that's
a
a big
dive.
deal. Yeah, that's a
Big
big
dip.
deal.
But like if I owned him, you'd kind of look at and be like, okay, looks like he hits well against righties though, which doesn't. But he slugs a little bit better against lefties. He's still pretty equal with his OPS on both, so he would normally you'd be like he's a pretty safe
Man,
play
the only reason I
regardless.
took that player up is because he was 90%, 91% rostered. So
Yep,
I'm
yep,
like, you know, if there's 91, if he's a 91%, usually that means you don't really find those type of players on the free agent wire. So that's why I picked him up with no
yeah,
hesitation. Yeah. Uh,
cool. What else you want to see?
let's go to Frankie Lindor. See how Mr.
You want to
Smile
see
doing.
Frankie? Let's see how
Yeah.
Frankie's doing. All right, hold on a second. I'll pull him up.
I wish I could
Frankie,
have on my tablet. I wish I could pull up my fantasy stuff.
you want to see a fantasy here in a little bit?
Yeah, because I can't pull it up on this tablet. Yeah, it's a
Got
little
you.
hard to
I
see.
got you.
These
So
numbers
Frankie
small.
Lindor, last 7 days. Bad. Let's zoom in here. Quick. Oh, here, just
Been
zoomed out.
375, it
There we
says.
go. There you go. So his
345.
OPS is pretty solid. His OPS right now is he's one dotting. So when a player is one dotting, that means that their OPS is 1 point something, and he's at 1.65. 1.065 is pretty good for the past 7 days. Jeez, he's been crushing the ball.
Yeah, he's been doing great,
Yeah,
and
let's
he's been stealing the base too,
let's
stealing
split
bags.
it up. Month of April, 849 OPS. Month of May, 715 OPS. He had a really cold start to the month, if I'm not mistaken. And then his past couple games have been really good.
Yeah, he's
So
been
let's see.
balling for a good
Month of
week now. He's
May.
been balling.
So hits. Yeah, he went first week of May. He went cold. Hits. He's got, through May 8th, he only had like 4 hits out of what, 35 plate appearances, 30 plate
Right,
appearances. Went a little cold, little cold, little cold. Then he's a couple multi-hit games back to back this past week.
right. And I think he
Crushed,
had a 4.
crushed the Giants. Crushed the Giants. They were teeing off on the Giants as a team. The Mets were.
Yeah, I think they swept him, didn't they?
I think you're right. I think they did.
If I'm not
Giants got.
mistaken.
I'm not worried about the Giants though. They got Cincinnati coming into town. I think so.
Well,
Cincinnati's been
I think
pretty.
Cincinnati. I think Cincinnati just beat them. Actually,
Uh,
'cause
they got a
I
couple.
think Castillo.
Wait a minute. I could be
I
wrong.
think I
I
just
don't.
had
I don't think
Castillo
they
pitch. Castillo pitched and
against. I don't think it was against
Cincinnati.
San Francisco though. Was it?
Let me go look. Let me go look. Let me go look. Pretty sure it was though.
Is it, is
Pretty
it
sure it was.
Castillo?
Yeah.
Luis Castillo.
Yes, sir. Yeah. San Francisco. Yeah.
Okay,
Oh no,
they
never
must
mind.
have played like a
He
two.
beat. No, never mind. He beat the Cubs. Never mind. He got his dub against the
Cubs,
Cubs.
Cubs, Cubs. Oh
Yep.
yeah, they just so they did just play the Cubs.
Right.
Um,
He'll be pitching May
did
28th. So what
speaking
is
of
that?
which, did you see the Cubs
Tomorrow.
just gave up 20 runs to the Reds?
Oh yeah. I was gonna tell you about that. The Reds got 20, beat the Cubs 20-5. It's
Let's pull up
crazy.
that. I'm gonna pull up that
Bro,
box. This is Luis Castillo's
man,
game logs, by the way.
Oh, he's been doing terrible. I don't even want to look at it. I don't even know
Cubs,
why I still got him.
Reds, box score.
I'm just hoping he turns it around some part of the year. But he's been doing not that good. Look at his ERA, 5.5, damn near 6.
Cubs, Reds, box score. So you can see who did what. It looks like Kyle Farmer
Some guy
crushed
had
it.
2 home runs. Yeah, some guy had
Yeah,
like
Kyle
2 home
Farmer
runs.
right here. It was Kyle
Yeah,
Farmer. He had 4 hits, he was 4 for 4 with 2 home runs, 5 RBIs.
so what?
Tom,
Yeah, says that was 4 hit, got 4 for 4.
yeah, that's nice. So
Moore
Senzel
Jr.
four
with
for
five for
four, and then he walked
55.
twice.
Right, the
He's
Azale
six for
person.
six and getting on base. That's great.
Yeah,
Now at the end of the game, they did have a
and
position
he
player
they
come in
had
and
one,
pitch.
two. Wow, that's crazy. Who
They had
did
a
the Cubs?
position. Yeah, I can't remember who it was. Simmons.
Why?
On
Why do teams do that? Like you're like I don't get that. Like I seen Albert Pujols pitching the other day, and a guy hit a home run off. Like
yeah,
why would you
I
put
guess
Albert Pujols
the
in the
idea
pitch?
is to
Like you don't got no pitchers.
save arms. I think it's to save arms. Like it's like, hey, we're getting blown out, and we don't want to throw. Like we don't want to hurt our pitchers.
And so what?
So
You just throw your
just
greatest player in
snag
your
someone from the
franchise
field.
history out. You
Yeah,
go throw the greatest player in your franchise probably ever. 'Cause I don't know about ever, but he's one of the greatest Cardinals ever. And
yeah.
you just put
Albert
him out there to
Pujols.
go pitch. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. That was a little wild. They had who
like
is it?
what?
Yadier Molina, I think, hit a home run off of him or something.
They're on the same team. How are they going to hit the home run off each other?
Oh, you're right. No, someone. It was he pitched to someone, hit a home run off him. I can't remember who it was.
Yeah, but yeah. And then Yadier Molina pitched he pitched too though. He pitched in the
That's
game
what it
too.
was. Yadier Molina also pitched the other day.
Yeah, yeah. That's like what how you
Yeah.
gonna have a catcher who's
I
also
actually heard
he's gonna
I heard some guys talking about this, saying you know, saying that 10 years ago having a position player would have been like, oh my gosh, I gotta flip to the channel, I gotta watch this. This is crazy. Like this never happens. And now it's like I think there is some
it's
crazy
normal.
stat where we've almost seen 20 position players take them out this year. And
Hmm.
again, I get it from a manager's perspective because you're trying to save your bullpen's arms. It's like, hey, we're losing by 8. It's the 8th inning. We're rolling over basically. Like we just want to try and get the outs.
Uh,
You guys can tack on some extra runs if you want. But yeah, I don't know.
see,
I
I
don't.
don't like I don't like that game style. I don't like I would fire the manager. If I was the head of an organization and my manager did that, I'd fire him.
I mean,
Uh,
I just don't
especially in
like it
baseball,
because
man. Baseball's so it's so you never know. You can have a ninth inning, be down by 8, and come back and win in the ninth
right,
inning.
right.
Like you just can't give up. Like I feel like when you give up, I don't know. I just feel like
You're kind of just
there
like
should be no
giving up
there should be
today,
no
and
room.
maybe we can
There should
salvage
be no room
tomorrow.
in the game for right. There should be no room in the game for oh, it's okay we lose this one. We'll get tomorrow. No, it's we're gonna get everyone. We're gonna get today's and tomorrow. You know, but
And I get it
I
from a keeping the pitchers healthy perspective, but at the same time, it's I just I don't
man,
love it.
you got a bullpen with at least 10 to 15 pitchers in there. Come on
Well,
now.
here's the thing. Here's the thing that I don't like is
You can
I
literally
was
have a pitcher face a new one pitcher face a new batter every inning if you wanted to.
well. So what I was watching the game, the Cubs and the Reds as it was happening. I was watching the game, and every inning, because the Reds are actually putting up runs, every inning they'd be
Right,
like, the Reds haven't scored this many runs in this many years. And so what
right,
it did is kind of like shattered some like records that they had. I think it was like the last time the Reds scored 15 runs was 5 years ago. And then the next stat, once they got that, the next stat was the last time the Reds scored 17 runs was 99 or something like that, and they
right.
scored 20 runs. Like when's the last time they scored 20? I don't know if they've ever scored 20 runs before. So, but they tacked on 5 of
But
them in the 8th inning when Simmons was pitching, when it was a position player
right.
pitching. So I don't know how I like that. You're like
right. You
literally
know,
setting history based on the fact that a team was rolling over and you're throwing slow pitch softball pitches to the plate, you know?
right. You're throwing a 60-mile-an-hour fastball.
Not even. He was throwing 45.
Oh,
You can do that.
I can
You
do that.
can
I'm about to say,
you can do that laying down.
he was doing T-ball. He might as well do T-ball.
Bro,
Might as well
I
play T-ball.
could be waking up in the morning, not even put my clothes on, throw 45 miles an hour.
Right, that's easy. I threw 45 miles an hour since I was when I remember going to a bullpen or a pitch game and I threw.
Name some things you could do and still throw 45 miles an hour. I could be taking a dump, throwing 45
Right,
miles an hour from the toilet.
I was about to say taking a yit, 45 miles an hour.
Papa just tuned in on that. I could be taking a dump, throw 45 miles an hour.
Oh yeah, that's can't even be trying on that type of stuff.
Right.
Wow, this isn't the home. They was trying to have a home run derby over there, or something.
Yeah.
But
Actually, I did
what's
hear
it
that
called?
again. Sometimes when you listen to games that are wipeouts, you'll hear the color commentary and the play-by-play talking about it. And apparently, Simmons last time throwing pitches was actually with the intent to hit home runs. He was pitching down in I want to say it was like Puerto Rico or Dominican Republic, like home run derby. And so
Uh-huh.
he's throwing pitches to someone in order to hit home runs. Here he is.
Oh
I actually
yeah,
don't
he
think
knows where.
I don't know if he gave up a home run. He might have given up one, but either way, it's five runs gave up in the eighth because he's out in there lobbing ephuses.
Right.
You hear about
Is
that,
this
Pop?
Ooh.
no? Is the Cincinnati the worst team in baseball?
They scored 20 runs
Mm,
yesterday.
I'm looking at that. Wow.
I don't think they're
Yeah.
the worst team in baseball. Let
The,
me pull up standings for you.
Don't they have the worst record,
debatable.
Paul?
Debatable. They're pretty bad.
They're 14 and
But
30. Jim. They have if they don't have
yeah,
the worst
but
record, it's gonna be 30.
I will say, if you look at if they're 14 and 30, that means that they have
The
won.
Royals, but the Royals are they're 15 to 28. You got
Okay.
I'd say,
So
Pop,
who else has 30
if I
losses?
had to pick a team that's bad right now, I would
the
say the Royals are
Nationals got
probably the worst team
the
in the league.
Nationals. They got 30 losses. They're 16 and 30.
Okay,
Well,
that's the
The
listen to
Rangers
this.
but
team.
Listen to this.
you're
Listen to
right.
this.
You're right.
The
The
Reds
Reds
are
are the worst team in
terrible.
the league. Yeah, the Reds are the worst team
But
in the league.
listen to this. They started the season, I think 3-21 or something crazy like that.
Yes, I
So
saw
they
that.
are actually right. But if they've got only 30 losses now and 14 wins, that means in the past 15 games, they've actually had a winning record. So I would
And they,
say the Reds are not the worst team in the league right now. I'd argue the Royals because they've been streaky bad
I
for
say
the
the
entire
Royals are the
season.
Nationals, or the Royals are the Nationals. I'd
Yeah,
say.
yeah, that's fair. I'd agree with that. And the Nationals have had, which is crazy because the Nationals have Juan Soto, who has led the league in on base percentage probably for the past 3 seasons, and then
Right.
Josh Bell, who started the season also top of the league in on base percentage. So they've got two guys that
I
keep getting
mean,
on base
they
every
could
time they
just
get
be
up, and
slow.
no one brings them in.
what's
Yeah,
crazy,
yeah,
Paul,
right,
is that
right.
there was a time in my life where I knew pretty well every position player like you guys. So I'm definitely going to consider getting in fantasy football or baseball next year because
I'm
I really
telling you,
use it.
it's been so
It's an
much fun.
education. It's an education
It's
too, though.
Yes, and I mean Emily hates me for it. My not hates me, but my wife, for those who don't know Emily, just rolls her eyes when I'm sitting here studying box scores all day. She cracks up at me. She's like,
Well,
she's
the
not a
funny thing
numbers
about
person.
my career or my personhood as a kid. So guys, before the internet existed, when I would catch the bus to school in the morning, the hope was that some business guy that was on the bus would leave the newspaper. And like there's an episode of Seinfeld where everybody, because I didn't want to spend the 20 cents for it, you know. So the
Yeah.
episode of Seinfeld shows up where Kramer and some other dude are fighting for the newspaper in front of
Mm-hmm,
the
mm-hmm.
subway. So anyway, I would grab the newspaper if I could, and then I would look at all the box scores of what, depending on whatever season it was, and it led us to when I was a sophomore, catching the two buses to school. It led us to playing this game. My buddy Richie Miller's
Yep.
dad, used to
Yep.
play. It was called Pick Five. So what we did was that we look at the NBA schedule, and we would pick a center, two forwards, and two guards. You know, he go first, or one round, I go first the next round, and we would pick two sets of teams. So Basically I've been picking 10 players a night. And then we were betting 50 cents a game. And then real funny, when I became a Christian at some point during that year. And so I said, all right, man, let's just play for hamburgers. We're not for money. But it was just kind of funny. But yeah, we played pick five, and then we didn't do anything specifically with baseball. But guys, I used to read the newspaper, look and see who had doubles, and the internet was amazing when I could just tap in and type and see, who was leading the league in home runs. I didn't have to rely on the newspaper to tell me.
Yeah,
But
you just missed.
I'm
We
sorry,
were
on the
doing.
weekend, I forgot to tell you this. On Sunday in the paper, they would list like on Friday night stats through Friday. So you could look at that, and they would sort it by batting average. But you could see every player in the league, and that was baseball nut like me, man. That used to be something great for me to look at. I loved that. Loved it.
Yeah, I will say that fantasy baseball definitely helped bring my love for the sport to a new level, because all you do is look at stats, probabilities, matchups, and
Yeah, but don't let that come
I just
between
get
you
juiced off of that.
don't let that come between you and your special woman.
Of course. Hey, but I love numbers though too, and so I'm not saying in place of my wife, but I love numbers, and playing fantasy baseball has definitely fed that.
Superstar baseball,
Oh,
baby.
what do you guys
Oh
think
yeah.
about like Draftkings and being able to bet on games? Like, I know you can't do it in Ohio, but in some
I'm just
states
not a
it's
gambler, John. I've never been a gambler, and so I don't like to
oh.
give up my money for nothing. I'll play for fun all day long, but I don't like to gamble.
Yeah.
So I'm
So
probably that's just me. I'm not telling you what to
you
do. I'm just
wouldn't
saying
put
that's just me.
no, I'm saying you wouldn't put $10 on something and that you think like say this next game coming up, like put $10 on Clay Thompson makes the first basket, you know what I'm saying? You, if that happens, you get like like, you know what I'm saying? It's
I
really
wouldn't. I'm with
it's
Papa
low
on
risk,
this.
high reward. It's low risk, high reward, I feel like. But teach his own.
Yeah, I'm with Papa on this. I can do it for fun,
So what you're telling
but
me, you would never do DraftKings? You would never like
I
start betting?
just because then my emotions get in it more. Like, money is always emotional, and so for like using your money gets emotional, so you start making emotional decisions rather than just on numbers. And when you make decisions on
Ah,
numbers and they don't turn out,
you see,
then
you got to be
you get
strong,
emotional.
man. You can't be
And
having
I'm
your
not.
emotions.
I'm weak. I am weak.
Oh
I
yeah,
can't do
nah.
it. I
You
can't do
gotta.
it.
I ain't having no emotions. I'm having shoot. The only emotion I'm having is let's get this win. Let's get this.
Well,
You know what I'm
everybody,
saying?
again, we live in a wonderful free nation. Go ahead and gamble. I have no problem with folks that gamble. I've been to Vegas a couple times. It's just not my thing, man.
Oh no, I don't mess
I
with
don't ever think I make
stuff. I
enough
don't do
money.
all that.
Let me finish my statement. I don't make enough money to gamble. I always felt that way. So if I had money,
Okay.
just extra money for nothing, and honestly, I would rather
And
give.
chicks for free.
Yeah, I'd rather give money to a cause and bless people if I have extra money. That's all. That's just
Yeah,
me.
like
All
I
right.
never really learned.
All
I
right.
never really learned like what it was to bet the line, things like that. And so I'm kind of learning a little bit about that now. But it's just, yeah, it's just not my thing. Not my thing.
Well,
Yeah.
I
And
don't know.
again, I don't know people
I
that
just seen
that
like the other
gamble.
day, someone just put $10 on Kevin Mooney getting the first basket and walked out with like $1,000. I'm like, dang, that's crazy.
Pop, is
But we
there
ain't
is
got
there
to.
any player? Sorry, John. Go ahead. I apologize.
No, I was just gonna move on to keep moving on.
Well, I
But
was gonna say we looked at players and some of their stats
Mhm.
earlier on before you got in, and we were looking at league leader stats. Are there any players you want to check on how they're doing and why?
In the MLB,
Yeah.
yeah,
how's Joey Votto doing this year? You mentioned
he just hit his
It's
first home run. Just hit his first home run against the Blue Jays in his home state or his home
Yes, he
nation,
did. Yes, he
country.
did. Did you know his nickname? So two fun facts about Joey Votto. His nickname is Who, like WHO. That's his
oh, not
nickname.
okay. Yep.
And his his walk-up song. You'll never guess it.
Walk this way.
No, it is just as unpredictable. It is Dolly Parton, Jolene. So he came up to the game. I was just watching the game, and then I hear in the background a player walking up to go hit. I hear Jolene, 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 Jolene. I'm like, who is walking up the plate? Oh, probably the baddest dude on the team who's hit 332 home runs in his career. Understood. He can do whatever he wants.
Yeah, I gotta be honest. Major League Baseball, because my team decided to not only change their name, but not only be very good this year, kind of up and down. It's just, I mean, I really believe there's his nickname. I'd be a little bit more wrapped up in it if they were playing well, but they're just not. They're not
The
that much.
only offense is Jose.
Just not much fun.
Miles Straw's batting like 220 or 230. They just look bad.
Well, they're just not fun. They're not fun. They're not fun to watch. So listen, guys.
What about Steve Kwan? I haven't heard about him, and you guys were big on him, and I haven't heard his name.
He's been bad as well. Stephen Kwan's been bad in the past. I mean, just below. I would say below average rather than bad. He hasn't been bad, but he really had the hot streak to start the year, and then that was kind of it.
Which is great.
But yeah, so Pop, yeah, he is a slapper. Duncan and I were talking about slappers the other day. We were just talking through it. Who are, if we had to go position by position, our top slappers in the league, and we'd name a bunch of people you weren't familiar with if you're not in fantasy.
What is a
baseball?
But what is a slapper? Like home run hitters?
Basically a guy who's just going to put the ball in play and try and beat the ball to first base.
Remember Suzuki? John, remember seeing him bat?
Ichiro's a slapper.
Ichiro's a slapper. I think honestly, guys, George Brett was kind of a slapper too.
Yeah. So let's see, John, if you have any slappers on your team.
I don't think so. But back in the day, I remember there was a slapper who played way back in the day. I used to have
you really don't have any slappers on your
team. Baseball.
Wade Boggs?
No, there's another one. He's it's not Jackie. It's
Ty Cobb.
Ty Cobb.
Way back.
Ty Cobb's definitely a slapper. Batting career 360. John, the closest thing, Duncan and I were talking about this yesterday, closest thing you have to a slapper is probably Juan Soto. The thing is, he's got pop.
Yeah.
In other words, he can hit the ball with the fence too. So that's why we kind of
Not Ozzy?
He's got pop as well. He's kind of like his comparable would be like George Springer, where he can still hit 20 home runs, steal 20 bags. If it wasn't for like in defining a slapper, I'm thinking someone who hits less than 10 home runs in a year. And so Juan Soto would be a slapper if he didn't hit so many home runs, and same with Ozzy Albies. He doesn't,
Well, give him 10 home runs a year, maybe 15 home runs a year maximum, Paul. But you also the guy's gonna bat over 300, and he's gonna hit the ball to all fiels.
So let's see who we got on who's leading the league in slapping. Who are our slappers? We'll go season total. And
it might be the person with hits.
Yep. So Miguel Franco, he's only got 3 home runs.
Well, Miggy's not a slapper, that's for sure.
Miggy has been slapping the ball though. He slapped the ball for a win yesterday.
He got 3 home runs.
You saw what he did. Single inside out swing, ended up going right, like putting it right in the shallow center field to win the game. Batting 300. Miggy, who would ever thought Miguel Cabrera falls in the category of being a slapper right now.
You know what's funny is that you think about the great hitters, and we talked. I'm not going to jump sports, but the great players adjust themselves to the game. And I got to say that when Jordan started playing initially, there was no 3-point line that came into the game, or it wasn't a useful tool. And then he became a guy that could use a 3, just like LeBron. He didn't start out as a 3-point chugger or chucker.
Slash.
And actually, in the other way around, Curry has been a better penetrator than I think he was early in his career. He just wanted to stay out there and shoot. Now he goes to the bucket quite a bit and makes some pretty interesting passes. By the way, last night, I don't know who won the game, how to go last night. The Heat did not do well?
No.
The Heat played 2 nights ago.
Yeah. Go ahead,
It
Buck.
was the Mavericks and the Mavericks and Warriors last night.
Oh, really?
And yeah, the Mavericks they lost and
We're done.
the
Okay, so
yeah,
yeah,
they're
so
done.
Yeah,
Heat's down
Mavericks are
3 to
out.
2. Heat's down 3 to 2, and they're
Huh?
going to Boston, right?
Yep, they're in Boston tonight. Should be at
And I'm
9
sure you
o'clock.
guys talked on it real quick, but you got Boston over San Francisco or the
Miami.
Warriors, or you got the other way around?
Oh, I got to go into at least 7. I think I got the Warriors though, just because they got
I don't want them.
championship experience. Uh, I don't know.
You
I
know what
don't
they
really
do
care.
play? As much as I don't like them, obviously, because they've been such a dynasty, they pass the ball, man, great.
That's what
They
I was
play
telling
great
John earlier.
basketball.
Is the Warriors have been
They play
playing the
great
best
basketball.
team
They
ball.
play
Yes,
right.
they play
They've been
basketball.
How
They
can
playing.
you
play
not like
good
They
stuff.
deserve it. They deserve it.
Even though they had the state like a trilogy with the Cavs and all that, I can't say that I don't like. Oh, I can't
I don't
like
like
them or
you don't
something.
like their game. You like how they play. I think we all agree with that. They play
No, I
basketball.
like the team. I like the Warriors. I like Curry. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I think Curry's about to pass LeBron on the or is equal to LeBron on like the all times and stuff. You know,
John, do
I
you
think
remember at the
Curry's up there.
breakfast we went to? You remember the breakfast we went to?
Yeah.
Maybe I'll just remind you real quick. So Sage Steele, who's met all these guys in the NBA, she literally
Yep.
said, that despite what people think, there's some guys in the league that really aren't very nice, and then there's some guys that are amazing. And she says, without a doubt, one of the nicest people she's ever met is Stephen Curry.
It's pretty
So
cool.
he's been able to maintain. Look, guys, if people have been blowing sunshine up your butt since you're 12, telling you how great you are, you're gonna definitely believe the newspaper clippings. And just a thing they used to say when I was a kid: don't get too excited about what they say in the paper about you, because the next couple of days it's gonna be in the bottom of a bird cage, or it's gonna be somebody's gonna wrap their fish in it. That's what they call
Like
it, the
that.
fish wrap. So the newspaper might look good for you today, but just don't keep it in perspective. So, guys, I always talk about this. I think about how difficult it is. If someone's been telling you since you're a teenager, man, you're great, man, you're great, man, you're great, and everybody, man, you're great. Man, I mean, and you might be really, really good at whatever skill set you have. You start to believe that stuff, and then you meet people at a certain level. They're like better than you. And Magic Johnson used to always say, "You got to keep working hard because there's always somebody better." But
Yeah.
man, it's got to be hard if people have been telling you, "You're great, you're great, you're great, you're great." You never get home. It's tough. It backfires. Anyway,
Yeah.
sorry about the
I
tangent.
actually to build onto that, quick example is just going to school at Division III college and playing with guys that all scored 1,000 points in their high school, and how quickly they fell off and became non-participants on the team or just off the team. That was a factor. And then also I was talking with, there's a medical university of South Carolina, it's right here in Charleston. And I was talking with a guy who was always the top of his class, always really smart, always got straight A's, always was the best. And then he got to med school and he was unable to be top of his class. It just was not possible. There was someone who, despite the amount of effort and time that he put in, would just always be lesser than some of the people in his class. And it was he was saying it's the first time in his life where no matter how hard he worked, someone was better.
Wow. That's a great, horrible, tough lesson, but it's wonderful. I mean, it's like wonderful, but it's tough on you. And so many
I was
guys
like,
I've seen,
that's crazy, because I got my first F in 4th grade, and I can't imagine getting my first F at 24 years old. And it wasn't even he was getting Fs. He was just other people were getting better A's than him.
Oh yeah.
Right, but you're talking about middle school. You're talking about people that trying to learn some rocket
John,
science.
if you've done nothing but win, like Paul's saying, if you just win, baby, win all the time, you never face the fact of, I mean, just think about it. When you start playing baseball, if you went out there and every batter you struck out for the first 3-4 years you played baseball, you go, shoot.
You would think you're the real deal.
I got this. And one of the things I remember was really important as a young ball, skinny, 15, 16-year-old kid is that I was told, you got to go play with guys that are better than you, because the guys your age, you're better than them. And it's like, man, I didn't really want to. But then I found out the beneficial. I remember playing some old dude, man. His name was Pops. He wasn't that big, but he was a rebounding machine and a super passer. and he was at the used to play up at the court on East Tech on East 55th Street. And I love Pops, man. He could see that I was learning from him. It was pretty good. It was pretty good.
Yeah. Well,
You
that's
don't
kind of
have
I
to.
like
like
playing. I
I
like
played against Adam.
when I was in. Yeah, I like playing against. I think I've always played against older people, except for like when I was in the league or something. Like
Yeah.
even at the YMCA, even the mornings, I play against the guys up there. And,
Careful.
those are
Careful.
guys right out of college, in college or around, in their 20s when I'm 12. These guys are in their 20s, even guys that are older, they're 50 playing, I was
Yeah.
playing against them. They taught me a lot too as well. So I think you get better playing older people. Uh, it
Yeah, but
just,
you don't
you
want to
just,
hear that sometimes when you're a young guy and you dominate. You don't want to hear that.
nah, I think you do though, because you always are striving to get better. So if someone's gonna make you better, I'm gonna go play who's gonna make me better. I'm not gonna, I
So what
know
you
I
so
can
what you
dominate here.
so what you tell me,
I'm
you
not
go out
gonna.
in the
I
game,
know I can
you put
dominate here.
wait,
It's like
listen.
saying I'd rather go dominate and not get better and just be proven that I can be better than everybody over here instead of go work my tail off and try to be even better than what I was before.
What I'm getting at is that, and I appreciate that. I'm just basically saying that I remember times when I play against guys who were my age, and they couldn't stop me, right? And then then you go play guys a notch above, and they be saying, "Get that weak stuff out of here." And I'm not gonna tell you I like that. I'm just telling you I know it was necessary to get better. But yeah, I play against guys in my grade in 8th grade and 9th grade. I was just like, get out of the way, finger roll, spin. I'm going to the bucket. Yeah, it was a different game too, fellas. Man, it was all about getting the ball inside, close to the basket as possible, and there was no three to chuck up. I hate the three.
Bob, you want to hear a fun stat that we looked at earlier with the Warriors was they went 16 for 16 from the free throw line as well in that win. Just
Last night, yeah.
3 points.
That's why they call them free throws, boys. I told you that. They're free.
You
They're
got,
free.
like I said though, you got Curry, Klay Thompson, and Jordan Poole. All those guys shoot at least 90%. They're all in the top of the league at free throw percentage.
I don't like Klay Thompson though. I just don't like him.
What?
I don't.
Man, I ain't
It's
gonna
okay.
lie. You got to root for someone like Klay Thompson coming off two terrible catastrophic injuries, Achilles and an ACL. Those
Yeah,
are one
maybe
of
I
the.
haven't paid enough attention to him.
Those are two of maybe the worst. Those are career-ending injuries for some other players.
I
And the
understand.
fact that he came back and is dropping 30 points and being a main factor why they're winning in the Western Conference Finals,
But what would you
man,
do on another
I
team?
think uh oh he'd be a starter, all-star, doing the same thing.
Paul, you think so?
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
see why not.
play, plays great defense. He's not a defensive
Did you say great?
liability.
John, save that great
Yeah,
word. Save that great word.
he's great. He's solid. If anything,
I
I
haven't
think he's
seen
been
great
first.
defense from him.
I think he's been a first team all defense. I think he's been
Okay,
first team all
I
He
defense.
think
he
that
actually has been. He's gotten defensive all NBA defensive
Right. So
awards.
he's not a he has no he has no there's
no
no
argument here. But when I think of Klay
no
Thompson, I don't think of great defense, nor do I think of great defense with Steph Curry. I think a great defense with with
Draymond.
Draymond. With Draymond. And even though
Right.
he's just Draymond, he's one of those guys that's just like annoying to play against. He's physical. He's not that gifted. He's just like you hate playing against him, but I respect him
He's got
defensively.
also his IQ. He got a better his
Yeah, he sees
basketball
the game. He
IQ.
sees the game well. And that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
When I compare, I'll give Draymond an 8 out of 10 on defense, and see, I would only give Clay a 6. I just don't think he. And I've seen him in this. I've seen him in the series against the Mavericks defensively a couple of times. I'm like, what is he doing? What's he doing? And you could good, John. You're right. You could attribute that to his injuries, but there's a couple of times like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?
Yeah,
What
I
are you
Yeah,
mean,
doing?
Klay
You know?
Thompson. Klay
I don't think
What
he's
Thompson
about
a
it?
has
defensive
been.
liability. I
Yeah.
don't think he's a defensive liability. I
Klay
think
No.
Thompson
if
got
anything,
drafted in.
Curry
So
is.
Klay Thompson's been drafted in 2011. He's 11 years in the league. Then he
Yeah.
has been honored as All Defensive Team once, All NBA twice. He was on the All Rookie Team, 4-time NBA Player of the Week, and a 1-time Olympic gold medal. Those are his
Okay.
accolades,
So
plus all of his
I rest my
championships.
case. He's good. He ain't great.
He's pretty good. I would put him in the pretty good
He's solid.
category.
I mean, I remember.
Solid is another good one. Yeah. Yeah.
You can't. I've never seen someone ISO Klay Thompson and put him unless you're like Kyrie.
I've seen
I've never seen someone say, all right, I've never because they try to do it. Like they'll try to get Curry on Luca. Come here, set a screen so they can switch. I've never seen someone try to go at Klay Thompson like they do Curry.
I will tell you this: you're right because there's a 4, 5, 6 inch difference, but I'm still going to say Klay is not great on defense. I give you one-time Defensive Player of the Year for 11 years or 12 years does not make you great. That makes you good, and you might be
one time all defense, not
yeah, but you don't have that
defensive player
first,
of the
second, or
year.
third team. This could be first, second, or third team. Again,
Right, but not defensive player of the year.
yeah, I'm not knocking him. I'm just basically saying.
I'm not saying, whoa. I'm not saying he's defensive player of the year. I'm just saying for his position, for being known as a 3-point shooter, his defense is solid. If great is too big of a
Okay, so
word. Solid.
defensively, as far as making offense, let's just do some batting averages here. So defensively, he's been in the league 12 years, and one time he was named on the all-defense team. 1 for 12 does not give me
Right.
the great status. It gives me good status. I rest my case.
However, with the X amount of 4 rings that he's got, I'd say Klay Thompson's in there as a Hall of Famer.
And they play
Oh,
very
that's
good
no
team
doubt.
defense. They play very good team defense too as well.
That I would say they play great team defense because they play great team basketball. And if
Man,
you've
they
won that
play
many
great team
championships,
basketball. Right.
that I would say that whole era has been a great team. They have been.
Let me throw this
team.
rock at you guys real quick. So we were saying that we're giving the Warriors some love, and I get it, and that's probably because we're not competing with them with the Cavaliers anymore. And
Oh no, I'd be.
And we can see their game.
You gotta give people their flowers.
So if they're a great team, and we're giving them their props for being that great team, but again, think of some other great teams. Again, I've seen a whole lot more basketball than you guys. So the great teams in the past with Magic, Michael Cooper, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Big Game James Worthy. I mean, they had guys that for reasons of winning and intelligence, they got a strong nucleus of people and they pretty much kept them. There's not that many guys like a Jordan or even LeBron that has bounced around and been great here and been great there and been great there. So basketball is a team sport, so I truly respect the teams more than I do the individual.
Jordan bounced around?
Yeah, he was at He was at Chicago and in Washington in his career, and then in Washington.
I would say with Washington though, people weren't really expecting him to.
But Jordan
out there and
was
win it championship.
He
was on the downside of his career.
Now, I'm not saying the Bulls would lose to the Warriors in a series or anything like that, but as far as you got Jordan, who was the greatest ever, Scottie Pippen, who was pretty darn good, and then everybody else was like even lower and straight across. Whereas we got Steph, and like you guys are saying, we got Clay, and Jordan Poole was pretty good too, and they had some other players. My brain's like working a couple of years back.
But Jordan Poole's not better than Steve Kerr
as a player.
Yeah,
I saw Steve Kerr play, man.
He's no way better than Jordan Poole.
And you know what? I saw Steve Kerr play. I think Jordan Poole will eat his lunch.
Oh, wow. Now, I'm saying now, hold on. I'm saying you take Jordan Poole and you go put him in Kerr's game back then. Because it's unfair to take Kerr and put him in.
I don't disagree with that. I'm just saying
so when I think put him in back then's game, I think Kerr is gonna,
I'm sorry, John. Kerr played for the Cavs too. Did you know that?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. So my take is that Steve Kerr was a good three, but we had John Paxson. The Bulls had John Paxson before him, and Kerr was just another replacement for Paxson. He was another piece. I would not put Steve Kerr as great. He's done more. He's done more as no, man. I mean, I can't even say the word. Steve Kerr was a good player. He's a good. I can name 200 guys.
Did he get into the Hall of Fame as a player?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think even close.
I'm pretty sure he's in the Hall of Fame.
I think he's in the Hall of Fame.
I don't gamble. I laid out a couple of nickels on that one. I don't think Steve Kerr's a Hall of Fame. Mark Price was significantly better than Steve Kerr. Terrell Brandon was significantly better than Steve Kerr. You're talking about just the Cavs point guards. Yeah, so no.
Well, I'm saying
No, Kerr was not great.
I
He was
I
good.
mean, you know,
Look, you have any idea what his numbers were?
USA team. It doesn't even numbers don't always tell how big of an
No,
impact you
I
are on the
agree
court.
with you. I already said that, but you have any idea what his numbers are? I don't think he averaged
No, I
15 a
don't.
game. I don't think he ever
But
averaged 15 a
I
game.
think Steve Kerr's nickname was Ice.
Yeah, 'cause
I'm
he
not
has
gonna
ice
slow
in
up a
his
second.
veins, man.
Guys, you gotta be careful with great, man. I don't know.
Let's see. I'm trying to find his
I
awards.
think though, I do think his percentage, his field goal percentage was one of the greatest all time. His field goal percentage,
mean,
but he came to Pippen and Jordan, how many shots you gonna take?
right.
And then, see, they both also interjected Steve Cartwright. What was the other guy's name? Livingston. I mean, they had not Livingston. I can't think of his name right now, but they had like 4 or 5
So
centers.
here
during that
are Steve Kerr's career numbers.
Lay
His
them out.
career averages is 6 points, 1 rebound, and 1.8 assists.
So that ain't great.
That is not great.
Yeah,
You're correct.
he is not a Hall of Famer.
No,
He's a Hall of
Might be
Famer
Hall
as
of
a
Fame
coach,
coach.
though.
As
He's
a
a role
coach,
player.
yes, he will. If he's
He's
not,
a
he
very
will
good
be
Hall-
in the Hall of Fame as a coach.
Yeah, as a coach. 6 out of the last team to do that was his team, the Bulls. 6 out of 8 years in the finals. Come on now.
Hey, I lived through
That's
those, man. Jordan was drafted the year I got out of
I'm
school.
living through it now.
Tell him, Buck.
Yeah, Jordan and I were drafted the same, or I wasn't drafted, but Jordan and I came out of school the same year. So I can't believe the Bulls had a choice between me and Jordan. They took him.
That just means you're an old man. Yeah, you're getting up there in age.
Old feels good though. I'm loving it, man.
Hey,
That's a great experience. So do you want to know anything about Martha's Vineyard, John?
Who?
Hold on. Let's do
Who?
fantasy baseball and recap, and then we can roll out because we've been here for a minute.
What's his name? Hold on. Paul is talking.
He said Martha's Vineyard. He's talking about the place.
Oh yeah, I've never heard of that.
Yeah, I got a message from Adam saying you didn't know what Martha's Vineyard was.
Oh, I mean, it's probably a vineyard. Sounds like a vineyard.
You mean a vineyard?
Vineyard, whatever. You know what I'm saying.
Paul, what you pulling up for us?
I'm just gonna take an overview of our fantasy baseball league. That's usually how we finish up.
Okay.
Well, I wanted to talk about NFL, but okay, I guess we can
We've been going for a little over an hour, so it's time.
We won't put people to sleep completely. So let's do it next week. Let's start out with NFL next week.
That works.
Yeah,
Don't
OTAs
OTAs begin right now, or a lot of teams are having them?
Yeah, voluntary OTAs, they're going on right now. Yes.
Yeah.
They started last week, I think.
What is an OTA?
Yeah, I don't know the definition.
Like it means like I don't really know what the abbreviation stands for.
You should get
but
that
it's,
acronym somehow.
It's just like
Off-season workouts or something.
Pretty much, you get the rookies in there, getting the feel for the building.
Got it.
Workout drills without pads. They work their way up to pads. It's like the first couple of weeks of practice when you don't have your pads yet.
Got you.
Yeah, that's all that is really.
Let's give a rundown of these standings here, Bug.
Let's give a rundown. Shoot.
Organized team activities.
Got it.
Yeah. So,
John, you want to laugh real quick?
What am I laughing at?
Big Daddy's championship prediction.
Yeah, I'm dead.
Oh, I didn't even realize that. I forgot about that. Yeah, I don't know about that one no more.
He took the L last week, 3-8-1. That's pretty rough.
Yeah, that's pretty rough.
So I don't get
man, hey, let's talk about my game. Man, we was talking about how you gave me the manager of the week last week. Man, I lost that game. I lost 5.
I know you ended up losing that game.
Or 6. I'm like, what? I was so mad. I was so upset. I was up like 8-2 or something. How the heck? And I was winning like I was like, oh yeah, I'm good. Like he might get a couple, but he's not getting.
I was looking at it as well. I'm like, damn. We also kind of jinxed the Bryce is right. They were up 9-2 when we made that call. They ended up losing 4-7-1.
Yeah.
So
So
kind of
wow,
recap on that.
it's Showtime went 12-0. That's impressive. I've never
I
seen
was gonna
that.
say, so if we're doing our the second best manager of the week segment, because obviously John's the best manager in the league. So we're doing our second best manager in the league award. And I say it goes without a doubt to Showtime. You don't get a 12-0 sweep.
Oh, most definitely. Shoot,
don't
I
get
ain't
a
gonna lie, he
12-0
might
sweep
even be
very
ahead of
often.
me after getting a 12-0 sweep. I ain't never seen it.
Hey, no, we already know the number one manager of the league is Junie and the Juice Bugs.
I have no problem. Hey, sitting down and realizing what's great. You know what I'm
So
saying?
let's take a look. What did he do? What did he do to make him what did he do to win this week? Well, Shohei
I don't even
Ohtani,
know.
who's actually Shohei Ohtani's day to day. What did he do? Left Thursday's game with back stiffness. He was pitching.
Yeah, he gave up
he
a
was
home
pitching.
run. I know he gave up a home
He
run.
was
salty.
pitching yesterday.
George
He
Springer.
lost yesterday to Ryu. So Ohtani's got
Blue
back
Jays.
issues. He'll probably be
How
back. They
tall-
might just
How
take him
tall is
out
he?
for a
How
while.
tall is he, guys?
I think 6'3".
I have no idea.
Either 6'3" or 6'5", something like that.
I don't really pay attention to all that.
So Shohei he had 10 bases, he had a home run, 2 RBIs, 4 runs scored, and a stolen base. So it was runs scored, home runs, RBIs, stolen bases, total bags, average. So he batted .231, 10 total bases, had a stolen base, RBI, run, and a run.
That's who also has been balling is Pete Lonzo. He's been balling too.
Pete Alonso has been balling. However, even with Pete Alonso going off, Showtime still got the win.
All right.
It looks like he didn't really do it offensively. Looks like he barely won in the offensive categories. In some of the offensive categories.
Yeah, some of them, yeah.
This man threw 68 innings in the week. 68 innings pitched. And he had an ERA of 105. What the heck? Who the heck did he have? And 0.8 whip. Whip is walks and hits per innings pitch pop.
Yeah. So he got Gore.
Walks.
Well, I mean, look what he has.
8 walks.
So what's that?
68 innings, 8 walks.
No. So 0.8 means walks and hits per innings pitch. So
okay.
So out of every inning thrown, he had 0.8. Wow. So it's like, out of every 10 innings thrown, he had 8 walks or hits total.
The Miami pitcher had 12 strikeouts.
Hugh Garbage.
I wish I could see innings pitched here. Hugh Darvish he got a win. 5 strikeouts only. Hugh Garbage. He was garbage last year. He's been doing pretty good this year though.
Yeah, he's up and down.
He didn't give up any runs, and he had a whip of 0.86. Jameson Talion, 9 strikeouts in his win. Gave up 18 total bags though. Alek Manoah, 4 strikeouts in a win. ERA of 1.13. Ryan Presley had 2 saves. Jordan Romano had 2 saves. Gregory Soto had 2 saves. They didn't give up any runs. This one, it's like Danny Jimenez, I think. Mm-hmm. This guy pitching for Oakland just kind of came out of nowhere. They were doing committee saves, and now he's kind of like their guy. Matt Lorenzen got a win. Mackenzie Gore got a win. Sandy Alcantara has been out of this world. He's played 2 games, 12 strikeouts, only given up 12 total bags, 0.53 ERA, and 0.71 whip, which means that over his 2 games pitched, he probably only gave up 1 run. That's
I'm gonna have to do this. So real quick, I gotta go. We're going to lunch and we're gonna have seafood. So, John, just so you know, off the coast of outside of Boston is this island. It's called Martha's Vineyard. And if you remember our friends that used to Mrs. Souls and her husband Keith, and they had
Vermont, right?
Yeah. So they used to live in Vermont, but now they live here. And so we
where's here in Ohio or Boston?
No, just outside of Boston in Martha's Vineyard. It's an island actually. So
that's where you're at right now?
Yes, sir. Yep. Look it up on the map. The mom and I'll be home on Sunday. But yeah, it was kind of nice. We actually flew into Boston and then took a pond skipper, which is I was on a plane that only sat 10 people. And
that's like a private type thing.
And so the seafood here is off the chain. So we're going to lunch in about 10 minutes.
Make sure you get some of that clam chowder.
Chowder and lobster. Yeah, there it is.
Lobster.
So, looking at that map, Paulie, they live in Edgartown. To your right.
Got it. Yeah.
Over there. That's where they live. So that's what he
So
is.
there's Boston's up here.
Boston's up north. So he took a pond
You got
skipper right across.
Providence.
Yep.
What's
You
Katie
got
doing?
Cape Cod's over here, isn't it? In Cape Cod right over here?
Yes. Kate actually lives in Rochester.
Okay.
Oh,
She's in
okay.
Rochester.
New York?
Yes. Yep. So,
That's
and
not
then
far away.
the other older daughter, Dresden, lives in the Cincinnati area. And Keith lives back in their younger son. He lives in Vermont.
The only one I think the only one I met was
Kate.
Katie and the younger son.
Yeah, Keith.
Brother.
Keith David.
Yeah, Kate and Keith.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I got to run. Seafood.
Anyway,
lobster.
John, go ahead and sign us off.
Lobster.
All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. Hey, well, hold on. Before I close it out, let's be on time, everybody. Hey, let's get here at 11:15 sharp a.m. Let's do our best we can. Then I just want to close it out by saying thank you for tuning in, and this is today's ad. Hold on a second. Let me pull this bad boy up. And I'm a little slow sometimes. Got it.
That's how you make your cheddar, buddy. Better get going.
What's it called? But today's episode is
Sponsor.
brought to you by IX9 shop. Again, it's IX9 shop.
Nice.
You can get some great apparel. It's comfy. It's everything you look for. Everything you look for is on that right there. There you go. There's some shirts. 22. Can't beat it. I'm telling you. Tune in, tap in, get help. Just do it. It's
I need a
IX9.
I need a pink one. I need a pink one.
All right.
Go woke, go broke.
Use next level 35. Again, it's next level 35. Next level, all caps, all one word, 35. For your 35% off discount on your next purchase. So
Sweet.
It's a pretty good deal. Tune in. We're out of here.
Loving it. Peace.
Doses.